passage of Scripture, God's people were held captive in Babylon. And though they were in their darkest hour, the prophet Jeremiah encouraged them to anchor their hope in God's promise. Sometimes our darkest hour is when a friendship doesn't work out the way we hope for. Sometimes our darkest hour is when a relationship ends, when a job is lost, a bill is owed, or a class we failed. Sometimes our darkest hour is basically just being away from home, being away from our family and friends. And there are hundreds and thousands of people right now in Japan that are in their darkest hour because of the recent earthquake and tsunami that hit. And sometimes our darkest hour is simply not knowing what God is going to do next in our life. Not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, not knowing what's going to happen next month or next year. But there's a story I came across a few years back about hope. And it's a story about three trees who lost hope. And there was the olive tree, the oak tree, and the pine tree. And the one thing that all these trees had in common is that they had great dreams of becoming something great in life. And one day they were all talking about their dreams, and the olive tree said, "Since God made me to be an olive tree, I want God to use me and make me into the greatest treasure chest man has ever seen." And the other trees looked at him and said, "Why a treasure chest?" And the olive tree said, "So I can hold the best jewels in all the world and feel useful and valuable to God." Then the oak tree said, "Since God created me to be an oak tree, I want God to use me and make me into the greatest ship man has ever seen." And the trees asked him, "Why a ship?" And the oak tree said that, "So I can carry the greatest kings that man has ever seen across the ocean and feel useful and valuable to God." And finally the pine tree said, "Y'all are crazy. I don't want to be a treasure chest. I don't want to be a ship. I'm going to be what God made me to be, which is a pine tree." And the trees looked at him and said, "Why a pine tree?" And the pine tree said, "Because one day I want to stand on the highest mountaintop that man has ever seen and show the world how great God's creation is as a pine tree and feel useful and valuable to God." Have you ever had dreams of becoming